Hopkin. I'm a life coach and motivational trainer. And I'm here today to share with you some of my thoughts on those tough times that we face in life and how to make the absolute best of them. Now, my own life personally has been an incredible roller coaster of a ride. There have been some real highs and some real lows. And you know, one of my lowest lows was 18 years ago when, after the birth of my second child, I started to lose all of the hair on my head. And I'm not just talking the odd stray hair, I'm talking clumps of hair. I would wake every morning and find literally huge clumps on my pillow. I would stand in the shower and watch what should have been part of me leave my head, slither down my body and disappear down the plug hole, until my head was covered with massive bald patches, and within just a few weeks I'd lost practically every single hair in my head. But you know, not only did I lose my hair, I lost a lot more, or so I thought at that time. I felt as if I'd lost my confidence, my identity, and I really couldn't figure out why I was on this planet and what was my purpose, apart from being a mum, obviously. But I felt so lost and so destroyed at the time. It got to the stage where I was too afraid to go out because I knew people were talking about me. I could hear whispers and some cruel words sometimes, and you know, it really, really hurt. And so I found it easier to kind of lock myself away indoors and try and stay as secluded as possible. Now, this went on for quite some time, and I remember feeling the worst I'd ever felt in my life. The doctor tried prescribing me antidepressants, but I knew they weren't the answer because tablets were not going to bring my hair back. And I was literally at the lowest point, when something happened that completely changed my life. Now, for weeks I'd been focusing on what was happening to me and the loss of my hair and what I didn't have. But this one particular day, I was stood in my kitchen, and in my kitchen there's this kind of serving hatch, and through the serving hatch I could see my daughter playing with my baby son. And my daughter was flinging or plinging, whatever you like to call it, my son in the baby bouncer, and he was just roaring with delight and giggles and having the most amazing time. And just seeing those two together in that split second changed something inside me, because in that moment I realised what I did have in my life. And at that point I decided to change my thoughts, to change my behaviours, and go out there and fill up my mind with things that made me feel positive, made me feel like I was growing, and above all, fill my mind with so much stuff that I didn't have time to think about all those negative things and what was happening to me. And you know, it was the best thing I ever did. It was scary. It involved me retraining in a new career completely, meeting lots of new people, wearing a wig, but it was the best thing I've ever done. And so what I've learned from that is that in our darkest moments, the power of gratitude has the power to transform. Being grateful for what you have in your life is like having the key to the door that will allow you to escape those dark moments and move on into a far more rewarding and empowering existence. Well, it's not even an existence, it's true living. You know, it's waking up every single day and being grateful for what you've got. Always moving, always growing, always learning. And for me, that was the absolute key to change. And you know, for a long time, I didn't love who I was. I self-loathed myself, all because I didn't look as I thought I should. But I now realise that those darkest times in our lives can actually be the very best times. And losing my hair was the absolute best thing that ever happened to me. And I was totally hairless for about 14 years, and I wore a wig for 14 years. But what an incredible journey that was, because it allowed me to realise that, you know, what we look like isn't that important. What people see on the outside really doesn't matter. But what does matter is what we hold on the inside. And that's our soul and our spirit. And your spirit is there for the taking. You were born with very high spirits. You were born happy. You were born confident, with bucketfuls of self-esteem. So I'd like to say to you today, isn't it time to take back what is rightfully yours?